associate editor over at Geek Insider, as well as the executive producer of the Geek Insider podcast, founding one of the founding members of Terraform Comics, as well as the editor over at Wild One Forever, which I need to start getting over there and editing a few things and writing a few things. And right now, I've got a Kickstarter happening, and it is the Compendium of Dread, an anthology of dark fiction. And what I'm doing with that is marrying the prose with the world of comic books, because that is the world that I'm in. And yesterday was exhausting. And my title for this broadcast, for this vlog, is Don't Stop, Won't Stop. And that is because there is a pathway that I have in mind for myself. When I was younger, okay, let me go back a little bit, like a lot. When I was younger, I have always had this goal in mind, and it was always around my age. Like when I hit 40, I'm going to reach this, I'm going to have this and this accomplished and stuff like that. And it was so tied to the age of 40 that by the time I hit 40 and a lot of those things didn't happen, I was devastated. And it was like, okay, so now I'm 40. All of those young dreams that I had are either dead or ridiculous now. And so it wasn't the fact that I turned 40. I was happy that I lived that long, but the fact that I hadn't accomplished those goals and stuff. So it took me a few months to realize, what the hell am I doing? What is my purpose now? Because at that point, my kids were fairly grown and not dependent on me. And I just felt like I was drowning in my own stuff, and what I mean is not that I was so busy, but I was not busy at all. Uh, so I had to figure out kind of what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I'm still on that journey, but I feel a little bit more solidified because of the world that I am in and the community that I surround myself in. So, a lot of times, when I hear about the negativity that's going on in the world, I have created kind of that bubble where, not because I want to be ignorant, I'm not, but I don't want to ingest it. They say you are what you eat. I don't want to ingest the negativity. So I put it at arm's length and maybe a little bit further. There are people who I mute, people who I've blocked, and that's okay, because it's pretty much, for me, it's self-preservation and staying on the path. I will not stop. I don't want to stop what I'm doing. Um, Everything else feels like a distraction. So it's like, okay, put it on the side. If it's not, like I told my kids when they were younger, and you would hear maybe a crash, because they're boys and they were wrestling or whatever. You hear a crash, Moo! And you're like, and I'd sit here and be like, is anything broken? No. Is anyone bleeding? No. All right, go. Just go outside and stop breaking shit in the uh, house. Go outside and just wrestle. I would put them in their sparring gear, because at the time they were like in karate and stuff. Go put your sparring gear on and go outside and beat the hell out of each other. Jimmy Ritz, so you turned off Fox News. I've turned off all news, all of it. If I see a headline, I'll go chase that down and see what I see, and then I turn it off immediately, just because I want to be in the know. I don't want to be completely ignorant, but I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. Um, I I just don't want to hear it. uh, any of it, because I'm so busy right now with writing and creating and communicating and networking, and that is where I have my joy. And following people who are on this creative process as well, who are doing the same thing. We're like, dude, the world's blowing up right now. I'm just gonna focus on the tiny bit of my world that I can and bring joy to you and myself, and put food on the table at the end of the day. It's just that's the goal. So and then Jimmy says, good idea. I've not watched network news for 20 years. That's the way to go. I think that's the one thing that I really like about HAPS is that it was created to be those independent citizen journalists. When I read up about HAPS and its history, that's where they wanted to be. It's like, okay, everybody's got a damn cell phone now, and everybody is kind of recording what's going on in their world. So, I mean, if there's an accident going on, they're on their phone. Personally, I would call 911 with my phone. I don't record that stuff. I might go up and see if everybody's okay. That's just me. If there's something happening like an event, which by the way, I'm going to be at an event, and that's where I'm going to use my cell phone. So am I going to live stream through HAPS? Probably not. Maybe I'll pop in. I'm going to be at the DeLand Comics and Collectibles show in Volusia County, Florida tomorrow. And I have Sunday Comics brunch through Geek Insider and Comic Book Advocates Network tomorrow, and I'm going to be calling in. Rob Anderson is going to be in the studio, and I wish he was there, but he has car problems. So there are going to be other events in Florida that we can meet up with, and just kind of swap books. I have to give him the Gamal Hennessy book, and he's got a box of comics and stuff that he's going to be giving me. So because we're just like, we live in Florida, we'll just meet up somewhere. I mean, Florida is still kind of a big state, you guys. It takes 6 hours for me to drive to Miami if I wanted to get there. So yeah, it's kind of funny that we think that way. Too much information, too many backwards viewpoints. Is that on network news, Jimmy? Probably. But yeah, so I, if you consider that citizen journalism, because I will be there at DeLand at a small event and live streaming, and meeting up with some people who are going to be there. There's some guests who have tables, and they're going to be selling books. And I'm going to pay at the door, and I'm going to walk around and say hi to people, and I'll have my camera on to interview. Last year in February, I was at Space Coast Comic Con, and it was a smaller event. And basically, I had these little 5-minute interviews, and I called them Lady Geek Quickies. Yeah, I love the play on words, but I don't know if that's going to be appropriate. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's fun, and people are like, "Oh, what's that about?" And so maybe they'll tune in. Who knows? But it is going to be a lot of fun to meet some of the comics creators, publishers, artists, and other vendors who I've been keeping in contact with through Facebook, through online events. And, I've interviewed them before. Maybe we've hung out on other chats and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, an exhausting day because it's about a 2-hour drive from where I am. We're not staying overnight. So it's going to be an all-day event. I plan to be there pretty much through the day, just catching up with people, maybe getting lunch and stuff, and then heading back home. And yeah, so Sunday is going to be very busy. Today is I'm just going to get some writing done. For the most part, I will not be available on Facebook, but anybody can send me a text or a message and I'll pop on. But just trying to stay focused. So, because yesterday it felt good, but it was exhausting. I mean, from the time I woke up, I got my shoes on, I did my run, had to get the shower in. That was like necessary. And I might do that today. I don't know. I just feel like staying in my my sweaty clothes and just sitting here and writing and just slurping on some coffee. But then it was just nonstop running around. It was errands. It was live streaming. It was meetings. It was, and then we ended the night with a couple of friends where we were like watching. I think we're trying to outdo each other, finding the worst possible movie that we could find, and sit with friends and heckle. That was a lot of fun. That is probably not nice putting that out into the world, just being like, hey, what were they thinking? Or, oh my gosh, what the hell is going on with this? But I don't know. I guess you have to let the evil out every once in a while, otherwise you'll pop, whatever, have an aneurysm. So, but that's about it. I wanted to keep this short and sweet, trying to keep up with the daily vlogging. Haps is where I will do my personal vlogging. Personal stuff is going to go to my YouTube and my personal Facebook. If I do more, I guess, interviews or an interview style, I will pop that over to my business page on Facebook. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to start my day. So, day 32, I think I'm on here consistently. I might not live stream every day, but I do check in and see what everybody else is doing. So, if you are tuning in, I appreciate you. And hit the subscribe button, hit the follow. I'm going to drop my link where you can follow me on my socials here, and that would be linktree.com/MEREJ99. Let me just write that in here. Follow me on social media. Linktree.com. And I mean, if you're tuning in, what are you guys doing on this Saturday? What is happening in your world? What are you focused on that that you that you want to do? What is your pathway? What is your goal? I'd like to know. Oh, Facebook user. Okay, so Matthew, if that's you, I don't see your name over here on the Haps live stream feed in the chats. Unless you are a member of Haps, your name will not show up. So head over here. Let me drop in my invite code. Why not? Let's see. Create a notifier. I'm still learning these tools, you guys, so don't mind me. And why I'm doing this while I'm live streaming is it's like, oh, I care that she's typing something, right? Connect with me on Haps. Here's my invite code. https://tps.tv invite. Save that. Send that. Push to program. What does that look like? What does that look like on your end? Okay, that's cool. I try not to look at myself when I'm live streaming, only because what I'm seeing on the bigger screen has a little bit of a lag compared to the mini screen. And so it's weird. It's like this echo thing, only it's my face. It's weird. So I try not to look too much. Creating chaos. My friend Nita says recovery. She's in recovery. I wonder why. Maybe because we were up until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning watching terrible movies, and somebody was maybe drinking a little bit too much. Just a little bit. What was it? Crown Royal? Whew. I can't. So hair of the dog, girl. Drink a little bit of hair of the dog. there are times when I throw a little bit of whiskey in my morning coffee just to get the blood running. I will attribute that to the Irish. I do have Irish in me, and then that's it. It's like my one drink. It warms my bones. I can get on with the day, and it's not like the first time I did that, and my husband came over and he could smell it in my coffee, and he looked at me and his eyebrow must have gone up a mile, and and he goes, "Do we have a problem?" And I was like, "Nah, just warming my bones." He's like, "Oh, okay," like he got it. And then that was it. He's like, "Do you want another one?" I'm like, "Nope, one just to get the motor running, and that was good." Good morning, Bobby Stamps. Um, so I hope that you guys have a productive Saturday. Don't stop what you're doing. Pursue those dreams, look at different avenues, network with people, shut off the mainstream anything, and connect with the people who are going to uplift you and pull you and push you to do better and get your creative endeavors finished, get you across the finish line, whatever it might be. The lesson that I've learned is that I don't want to associate my goals to how old I am, because I'm at the point now where it's like the ticking, it's ticking away. No one gets out of this life alive. So just do what you can to be a positive influence, and have fun while you're doing it. On that note, you guys, my dogs are whining because I haven't fed them yet, and I've got stuff to do. I've got writing and editing, lettering, and building a website. Matthew, we're working on it. Talk to you guys later. Bye.